There is something mysterious, almost supernatural, about the way chosen ones navigate the world. They don't walk through life blindly. They don't move without spiritual signals. Their intuition is sharpened, their discernment heightened, their spirit constantly tuned in to the unseen realm. When danger is near, whether emotional, spiritual, or physical, they don't always respond like ordinary people. They don't need evidence, they don't need warnings, and they don't need someone to tell them what's happening. The inner alarm bells ring long before the threat reveals itself. And the strangest part, that inner knowing is almost always correct. Chosen ones are spiritually wired differently. Their senses are not limited to what the physical eyes can perceive. They carry an anointing that makes them highly sensitive to energy, intentions, motives, and hidden agendas. And because of that, their reactions can seem strange, unexpected, or confusing to people who don't understand the spiritual world. But every strange behavior is a survival mechanism crafted by divine intelligence. So today, we will dive into 9 strange things chosen ones do when they sense someone dangerous. Behaviors that may look odd to the untrained eye, but make perfect sense to those who walk with spiritual wisdom. 1. They suddenly withdraw without warning. When a chosen one senses danger, their reaction is rarely dramatic, loud, or confrontational. Instead, something inside them instantly shifts into a preservation mode that most people cannot understand. They withdraw, not slowly, not gradually, but suddenly, almost like a switch being flipped. One moment they may be fully engaged in conversation, smiling, responding, and interacting as if everything is normal. Then, without any visible warning, their presence changes. Their spirit pulls back. Their mind becomes distant. Their words become fewer. People around them may view this behavior as moodiness, rudeness, or inconsistency, but they have no clue what is happening on a spiritual level. A chosen one's withdrawal is a divine alert system activating. Their spiritual radar detects what the physical eyes cannot yet see. They feel a vibration shift in the atmosphere, a strange heaviness, or a sudden sense of spiritual contamination around the person. This intuitive warning is not a guess. It is a form of divine protection that has been built into their spirit since birth. Chosen ones are not driven by logic in such moments. They are driven by spiritual sensitivity. Their soul whispers something is off. Step back. They don't need proof, evidence, or explanations. They feel it so strongly that staying becomes impossible. Their silence becomes their shield. Their retreat becomes their boundary. And though it may confuse others, for the chosen one, walking away is a sacred act of obeying the spiritual alarm ringing inside them. It is not about ego. It is about survival, destiny, and spiritual preservation. 2. They observe quietly instead of reacting. When danger approaches, chosen ones do not explode, confront, or argue. They do not match the energy of hostility coming toward them. Instead, they become extraordinarily quiet, slipping into a heightened state of observation. On the outside, they appear calm, unfazed, even indifferent. But internally, their spiritual senses activate like a radar system, scanning every detail. They analyze tone, body language, facial expressions, subtle gestures, emotional inconsistencies, and spiritual vibrations. Things the average person overlooks. A chosen one may nod, listen, or smile softly, giving no clues about what they are picking up. But within, they are reading between every line. They are studying motives. They are sensing spiritual intentions. They are taking note of every word, every shift, every disguised expression. People often assume chosen ones are naive because they do not react aggressively or instantly. But this non-reaction is actually one of their greatest strengths. Their silence creates space for the truth to reveal itself. By not reacting, they allow hidden intentions to surface naturally. Dangerous people eventually expose themselves if given enough room to speak and act. Chosen ones simply wait. They understand that reacting too quickly can reveal their own awareness and wisdom, giving the enemy an advantage. So they stay still, mentally taking notes, spiritually listening, and emotionally distancing themselves even while remaining physically present. Their silence is strategic, not passive. It is not weakness, it is preparation. It is a form of spiritual warfare that uses intelligence rather than confrontation. When the time comes for them to act, they move decisively because they have already observed everything they needed to know long before anyone else realized what was happening. 3. They become mysteriously calm. Most people react to danger with panic, anxiety, fear, or emotional turbulence. But chosen ones experience the opposite. The moment danger appears, whether seen or unseen, an unusual stillness settles over them. Their breathing slows, their thoughts sharpen, their emotions stabilize, their presence becomes calm, controlled, and centered in a way that feels almost supernatural. It is not that they are fearless, rather, their spirit rises above their emotions. God strengthens them in that exact moment, giving them a quiet force that surpasses human fear. This mysterious calmness confuses people who intend harm because they expect nervousness, defensiveness, or intimidation. Instead, chosen ones radiate an unshakable peace that intimidates the very danger trying to threaten them. Their calmness is not emptiness, it is spiritual intelligence in action. It is their inner knowing that God fights for them, that their destiny cannot be derailed by human schemes, and that fear gives power to the enemy, so they choose stillness instead. This stillness becomes a shield, it becomes a strategy, it becomes a spiritual atmosphere that repels darkness. Even when they feel adrenaline or internal discomfort, the chosen one's spirit overrides it, covering them with a divine cloak of serenity. This calmness gives them clarity to think, discern, and make decisions without being clouded by fear. It allows them to observe danger without being consumed by it. Their enemy may speak loudly, but the chosen one listens quietly. Their enemy may plot and scheme, but the chosen one stands still. Their enemy may expect chaos, but the chosen one responds with wisdom. This calmness is not natural. It is spiritual protection manifesting in physical behavior, and it is one of the most powerful signs that a chosen one knows danger is near. 4. They distance themselves emotionally before physically. Chosen ones have a unique way of protecting themselves from dangerous people long before any physical distance is created. Their first line of defense is emotional withdrawal. When their spirit detects danger, they stop connecting on a deeper level. Their tone becomes neutral, their laughter becomes less frequent, their sharing becomes limited, their warmth slowly fades. It is not intentional selfishness, it is a spiritual self-defense mechanism that begins automatically. The chosen one's heart starts closing its gates, their emotions pull back, they detach mentally and spiritually before they ever take a physical step away. This emotional withdrawal is often invisible to others because it happens quietly and gradually. But inside the chosen one, a complete shift has already occurred. Their trust decreases, their openness reduces, their vulnerability disappears. They begin observing instead of engaging. By the time they walk away physically, the relationship has already ended within them. They have spiritually cut the cord long before they cut physical ties. This emotional detachment is also a sign of spiritual obedience. God warns them early, and their spirit responds by pulling away from anything that threatens their peace and destiny. Once the chosen one detaches, it is final. They do not return, reconnect, or reinvest. They do not reopen what God closed. This is not bitterness, it is discernment. Many people stay emotionally tied to danger because they ignore signs. But chosen ones listen. They feel the shift. They withdraw early to protect their heart, their energy, and their calling. This emotional distancing is their way of spiritually stepping out of harm's path even before their feet move. 5. They ask God silent questions in their heart. Chosen ones have a spiritual relationship with God that operates silently, deeply, and constantly. When they sense danger, they do not run to people for explanations or advice. Instead, their heart turns inward toward divine wisdom. They begin asking God silent questions that no one around them can hear. Why does this person make my spirit uncomfortable? What is this strange feeling? Should I trust them? Is this a warning? What should I do next? These questions are not spoken aloud, not because the chosen one is afraid to speak, but because they know that spiritual issues require spiritual solutions. They understand that the human mind cannot explain spiritual threats. In these silent conversations, God responds through intuition, sudden discernment, emotional discomfort, mental clarity, physical reactions, or a subtle but undeniable inner knowing. Sometimes He gives them peace, which means safety. Other times He gives them tension, which means danger. Sometimes He shows them a sudden image, a thought, or a revelation about the person. Sometimes He simply withdraws their peace, an unmistakable sign that something is wrong. The chosen one trusts this divine communication more than words, appearances, or logic. They know God will never mislead their spirit. These silent questions are not fear, they are guidance. They are the chosen one's way of aligning their actions with God's will. While others depend on human reasoning, chosen ones rely on spiritual direction. They understand that danger in the spirit often arrives long before danger in the physical becomes visible. So they seek God's voice early, quietly, intimately. And once God reveals the truth, the chosen one does not hesitate. They act according to divine instruction, knowing that obedience is protection. 6. They become highly protective of their energy. Chosen ones understand that not all danger arrives in obvious forms. Sometimes it comes wrapped in charm, friendliness, or soft-spoken intentions. That is why, the moment their spirit detects something off, they become intensely protective of their energy. They do not wait for someone to prove themselves harmful. Their intuition warns them long before any damage can begin. And once that warning appears, they guard their energy like a sacred treasure. They reduce conversations. They avoid unnecessary interactions. They become selective with their presence. They stop sharing details about their life because they sense that the person in front of them is not aligned with their spirit. Some people misinterpret this sudden shift as arrogance, moodiness, or antisocial behavior. But what they cannot see is that the chosen one is spiritually preserving their power, their peace, and their destiny. Energy to a chosen one is not random, it is sacred currency. Every conversation affects their spirit. Every connection influences their emotional space. Every person they allow close either adds to their purpose or disrupts it. And chosen ones have learned through painful experiences that the wrong energy can delay their growth, drain their strength, or open spiritual doors that should remain closed. So they guard themselves with intensity. They trust their intuition more than social expectations. They are not afraid to appear distant or different if that means protecting their calling. Being protective is not fear, it is wisdom. It is the chosen one's way of shielding themselves from spiritual attacks disguised as friendships, relationships, or opportunities. And when they pull back, it is not because they dislike someone. It is because something within them knows that allowing the wrong energy into their space would be a direct threat to their peace, their mission, and their divine path. 7. They speak less and listen more. When a chosen one senses danger, they do not expose their thoughts, their plans, or their emotions. Instead, they grow unusually quiet. Their silence is deliberate, strategic, and spiritually guided. They understand that dangerous people eventually tell on themselves if you give them enough space to talk. So instead of reacting, explaining, or defending, the chosen one allows the other person to speak freely. They observe how they express themselves. They notice how their story changes. They detect inconsistencies, hidden motivations, and subtle hostility disguised as jokes or passive comments. Every word becomes a clue. Every tone becomes a message. Every slip-up becomes confirmation. The chosen one's silence creates an environment where the truth slowly leaks out of the person trying to deceive them. It forces the enemy to reveal their intentions because they cannot manipulate what they cannot read. The chosen one listens with their ears, but more importantly, with their spirit. Their discernment grows sharper the quieter they become. They pick up signals that others overlook: envy disguised as encouragement, manipulation disguised as advice, or jealousy disguised as concern. Their silence protects them from saying anything that could be used against them. Dangerous people rely on information to attack, but the chosen one refuses to provide it. Listening becomes their shield. Observation becomes their power. Discernment becomes their weapon. Speaking less is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of spiritual mastery. It is how they spiritually disarm the enemy without confrontation, without drama, and without revealing what they know. By the time danger realizes the chosen one has figured everything out, it is already too late. The chosen one has already made their decision in silence. 8. They feel physically uncomfortable around dangerous people. Chosen ones are spiritually sensitive, but they are also physically sensitive to danger. Their body and spirit are deeply connected, functioning as one unified warning system. When someone with bad intentions enters their presence, the chosen one experiences immediate physical signals: a tight chest, sudden chills, unexplained headaches, stomach discomfort, pressure around the heart, or a strange heaviness in the atmosphere. These reactions are not random or imaginary. They are spiritual alerts manifesting in the physical body. The chosen one's vessel is tuned to detect spiritual misalignment long before the mind can fully interpret it. This is why they trust their physical reactions. Their body often warns them faster than their thoughts can form. When something feels wrong, the chosen one does not ignore it. They know their physical sensations are messages from their spirit, telling them, pay attention, something is not right. Many people try to explain away these feelings or blame them on stress, but chosen ones recognize the deeper meaning behind them. These sensations are God's built-in protection system, helping them sense spiritual danger even when nothing appears wrong on the surface. Their body becomes a spiritual compass. If someone carries jealousy, the chosen one feels it. If someone carries hidden hostility, they sense it. If someone carries dark intentions, their body alerts them instantly. This is why chosen ones often prefer solitude. They do not want their spirit constantly fighting energies that drain, disturb, or threaten them. Their physical reactions keep them safe, grounded, and aware, and once their body sends enough signals, the chosen one has no hesitation in distancing themselves completely. They trust their vessel because it has never lied to them. 9. They cut people off completely without looking back. When a chosen one senses real danger, not imagined, not exaggerated, but spiritually confirmed danger. They do not negotiate, reconsider, or second-guess their decision. They cut people off completely. Their separation is total, emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical. This decisive action is not rooted in bitterness or anger. It is a form of divine obedience. Once God reveals someone's true nature, the chosen one treats that revelation as final. They do not return to a person after God has shown them the truth. They do not expose themselves again to the same harm. They do not allow emotions to override discernment. Chosen ones understand that second chances can become spiritual traps when given to dangerous people. They have learned through experience that toxic individuals rarely change, and even when they pretend to, their intentions remain the same. So the chosen one does what many people struggle to do. They walk away permanently. They block, distance, and detach without feeling guilty. Their peace is too valuable, their calling too important, and their destiny too sacred to be jeopardized by someone carrying harmful energy. Others may say they are harsh or unforgiving, but they do not see the spiritual battles the chosen one has survived. They do not understand the cost of keeping the wrong people close. Cutting someone off is not abandonment. It is self-preservation. It is honoring God's protection. It is choosing clarity over confusion, spiritual safety over emotional attachment, destiny over distraction. Once the chosen one is done, they are done. No looking back, no reopening closed doors, no revisiting old wounds. Their forward movement is final because they know what they walked away from was never meant to follow them into their divine future. If you've reached this point, understand this: the strange things chosen ones do are not weaknesses. They are survival instincts guided by divine wisdom. When you feel danger, trust your intuition, trust your spirit, and trust the signals God gives you. This is the Alchemy of Awareness channel. I hope this message found you exactly at the moment you needed it. If it blessed you, please subscribe to the channel. It helps this message reach more chosen ones around the world. And if this came to you at the perfect divine timing, type 1111 in the comment section for blessings, alignment, and spiritual protection over your life. Thank you for watching.